This is a HeadGum podcast.
Winning season returns at my bookie. You know, you might be in the northern hemisphere and it's summer turning into fall. You might be in the southern hemisphere and it's winter right now, about to turn into spring. Wherever you are on this pale blue dot on which we live, it's winning season, and winning season means doubling your first deposit. Take that initial deposit and multiply it by 2. Winning season means insane props, epic bonuses, and the craziest cross-sport wagers. Imagine betting on baseball and basketball at once. My head is spinning. At MyBookie, winning season means watching live sports and betting live sports all season long. Rejoice! The NFL has returned. That means action-packed Sundays and huge cash prizes. My Sundays are already action-packed. Worshipping Almighty God. Going to church. Any huge cash prizes I got, going right in the donation bin. Get in on the action. Use promo code Doughboys and double your first deposit. New players get up to $1,000 in free play, designed to add more excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet. Bet with the best this NFL season, your chance to win big. Use promo code Doughboys and double your first deposit. Your winning season begins today, only at MyBookie. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Acts 12:4. This is the only mention in the King James Bible of the term Easter, the Christian celebration of the resurrection of Christ, which, like most of its holidays, has its roots in pagan tradition. And while Easter's most common culinary connection is with eggs, both dyed real ones and chocolate candy replicas, there's another food that's closely tied to the holiday, at least in the U.S. Ham. For centuries, the standard Easter feast was a leg of lamb, and in most parts of the world, that tradition continues. But in America in the mid-20th century, lamb went on the lamb after ham went ham and claimed the throne as the preferred post-church protein. Some suspect due to the World War II wool ration that led to a sheep shortage. Others think Americans just preferred the saltier, fattier product. Naturally. And despite this tradition's relatively brief history, it's become entrenched in American Christianity. According to the National Pork Board, ham sales in the month of April are 4 times higher than average. Which means each April, much like the Messiah, untold thousands of pigs are brutally killed and entombed for 3 days, only in a salt brine instead of a cave. In 1944, as ham's stateside popularity was surging, a Detroit man named Harry J. Honsler was awarded a patent for apparatus for slicing ham on the bone, a device enabling a new process he dubbed spiral cut. A decade and change later, with the twin gimmicks of spiral slicing and a thick, sweet glaze, Honsler opened a ham concept in Detroit, later offering sides and other protein options. Over the years, this ham purveyor's dinner-in-a-box products have become not just an Easter, but a year-round tradition for harried hosts and home cooks who just want to take a load off. And today, Honsler's chain hawks ham in 400 locations across 40 states. This week on Doughboys, Honeybaked Ham.
It's the Doughboys!
Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about chain restaurants. I'm Nick Wiger, alongside my co-host, Spaghetti Vetter, the Spoonman Mike Mitchell.
Like Eddie Vedder?
Like Eddie Vedder, but Spaghetti Vetter. That's from Ryan Alexander Robinson, who said he searched to make sure it wasn't used, and he was surprised that it wasn't. So there you go. Novel entry from Ryan. roastspoonman@gmail.com if you have an insult you'd like me to use at the top of the show.
I heard some Spaghetti Vedder on the way to our restaurant just
Did you really?
45 minutes ago, yeah.
Were you listening to the Bill Simmons podcast?
I was not listening to the Bill Simmons podcast. It was Even Flow was on the radio.
We got Joe House here. We're gonna talk through the top 10 NBA players you'd want to be quarantined with, and then we're gonna bring in cousin Sal, and we're gonna do parlays on which celebrities are gonna die of COVID. All that coming up soon. But first, Pearl Jam.
What's up, Bill?
Quick question: who won the pandemic?
And then I heard a little a Stairway to Heaven from Led Zeppelin.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Has anyone done like a bread Zeppelin? I'm sure someone's done a bread Zeppelin for you. Something like that.
For me?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You think I keep track of what they say, like what they make fun of me for?
Yes, because you hold grudges.
No, I don't.
You're a man with many grudges.
Wait,
My grudge is against you.
I was checking out Mitch's Tumblr the other day, and he did have a post that said, "My grudges keep me warm at night." I thought that was strange.
Yeah, very odd. Mitch, how are you holding up?
I'm good, Wiger. You didn't like that I said I did Led Zeppelin with Beatles voices?
Wait, is that what you did? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. It's us, Led Zeppelin.
So I think the quality of audio I'm hearing on my end, and this will be different from the listeners because you're recording on your end, but I think I couldn't quite discern.
Well, you know,
that subtle of a difference.
You don't have to do this big song and dance. It just was bad.
I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't even know you did that.
Oh, you really liked it?
Yes, I think it was good now.
So British accents are coming through as American.
Wait, isn't Led Zeppelin British?
They are.
Yes, that's the whole.
So you were doing a British accent. That's what I mean. I could not tell the difference.
You have taken all the fun out of this. All the fun of it is gone.
I was just explaining why I didn't react. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good choice. I just couldn't tell that you were doing something Beatles specific.
Jesus, can you start over again just with your Simmons bullshit? We'll just go from there. Led Zeppelin is also from England.
Yes, that's why I'm so.
So to me, it was fun to have two Beatles voices.
That was my confusion, is I thought you were just doing a generic British accent. I didn't realize you were doing a Beatles-specific voice. It's fine.
How are you doing, Wags?
I'm hanging in there. I feel like my... you have days that are not as good mental health-wise, but I think that overall, I count my blessings, because we're safe, and we're housed, and we have food and entertainment, and I have a companion, so it's, I think overall doing all right.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
That wasn't a shot at you. I'm saying that I'm counting myself lucky is that I'm shacked up with somebody that I love and that we get to, we can spend time together, and it doesn't get as lonely as it gets for some people. I'm not saying that's not a shot at you.
You know who I'm shacked up with? Shaq.
Shaq's there?
I'm shacked up. SHAQ.
Wow. It's crazy that he still refuses to do the podcast. But that's amazing. Your cohabitation with Shaq. He must take up a lot of space there.
Hey, Shaq, what's up? Hey, you can eat the rest of all this ham? No, you can have it, my friend.
Shaq sounds a lot like George Harrison.
Hey, you gonna eat the rest of this ham, mate?
Mitch, do you have a drop for us?
Yeah, I do. Here we go.
It's something I already have, Nick. A Big Mac coin. 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 Big Mac coin.
Stop saying Big Mac coin.
Wasn't that funny?
Wow, what a drop we heard. Our guest is slapping his knee. Oh, man, great drop there from...
Yeah, no, that was a great drop from...
Luke Courtwright.
Who says...
Really wish I was better at this, but here you go. Thanks for keeping on with the podcast during a global pandemic. I think a lot of us need it. Luke. Luke, I disagree, but thank you for sending in the drop, and I hope you're doing well.
Wow.
Wow, definitely. Thank you to...
Luke Courtwright.
For that drop. And hey, if you want to send in a drop, maybe you got more time on your hands right now because you're stationed at home. You've got some audio engineering expertise. spoonmandrops@gmail.com if you want to send one in.
If you want to send in a drop, just go send an email to
spoonmandrops@gmail.com.
You know your own email, don't you? Drop email.
You have to look that up later? I just said it.
It's a part of the joke.
I know. Hey, we have a great guest with us, joining remotely, a writer and editor from the podcast Inside Voices and Good Christian Fun, which is right here on HeadGum. Kevin T. Porter. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, thanks for having me back, friends.
Oh my God, it's been too long. I was looking because we have repeat guests on, and this is your second time on the podcast, and I looked it up. It's like, oh, I feel like we had Kevin on pretty recently. 2016.
Last time you had me on was also an election year, and what does that mean?
Wow, what does that portend?
I don't know, but it's been 4 years. It took a global pandemic to invite me back. But hey, I'll take what I can get. If we need another global pandemic for number 3, let's do it.
Hey, I gotta tell you,
yeah,
we got a lot of one and dones. You know, some person comes on the show, they do their thing, it stinks, they're never allowed back, right, Wags?
I mean, I wouldn't say that about any of our guests.
Like that. Well, no, I do listen, and I am a listener of the show. I'm still a fan of the show. And anytime there's someone on as a guest that makes Mitch nervous, he always says, our guest today is actually good, not like our shitty people that we have on all the time. And it does make me wonder, was I one of the shitty people?
No.
Was I one of the one and dones?
Of course not.
They're all better than me, all of our guests. Is there a guest I truly don't like? Koala.
Probably. Yeah, go through the archives.
Yeah, there
I'm
definitely
sure you
is.
can find one.
No, yes. Mitch,
I
you
can
have some
name a few.
grudges.
Why are you making it real, Wiger? Yeah, there are some that you don't like, actually. Shut
We're
up.
playing along. I'm playing along.
That's not playing along.
I was playing along.
That's
piece of
yes anding.
ham.
That's something he learned at the UCB institution, a thriving institution that continues to educate people to
endures.
this day.
You know
Soon
what?
to reopen its doors.
I've learned a lesson of like as far as like high school or college or anything
Yes.
like that. Like I've never been like rah rah. I'm proud of it. But probably more high school than anything else. And not even that. But with UCB, I was like, hey, I'm kind of proud that I like went here and I like this place and it's feels like a mistake. I should never have had any pride in it. It's taught me something.
Don't take pride in anything. It's just going to ultimately be an albatross around your neck. I wanted to ask you, Kevin.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into indie LA comedy minutia,
And we're gonna get deep into it, my friends.
we're gonna get deep. We're gonna
We're
talk
gonna do
IO.
Seth Simon's impressions. We're gonna do fucking Sharna Halpern memes. The works.
Kevin, obviously we're in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic, and we're all locked down here in SoCal. What have you been doing food-wise during this quarantine?
Well, everyone, it feels like, is making up the rules as we go as far as like what's the most ethical, responsible thing to do.
Yes.
So at first it seemed like go to your grocery stores, get all the food you can, and then don't do anything ever again. And then that shifted to like, oh, well, actually, don't go to your grocery stores, especially the first 3 days of the month, because people with food stamps need to get in there and they need better access. So don't mess up for them. And then it's become like support other businesses and get takeout. But then that became, well, don't support chain businesses with takeout.
Right.
Don't get delivery from Outback Steakhouse. Do like local businesses. But then it's like, well, you're putting a Postmates guy in harm's way. So for me, just like navigating the kind of minefield of what is good and just right now, I have been cooking more at home. I am a big, well, not big, but I love to bake. I love baking cookies and like trying out like little bread and things like that. But when you're just baking for yourself, there's a lot less motivation to make, say, a batch of 24 cookies. Because there's
Right.
nowhere for it to go. I could like drive around and drop them off at people's houses, but then even it's a 50-50 if they would accept them or like feel safe taking them. So my baking has diminished significantly, but I've tried to like, I feel like now is a nice opportunity to get better at dishes I haven't tried before and get into different rhythms of like, for breakfast stuff, I've been making like a little egg sandwich every morning, like
That's fun.
one of those Nooks and Crannies biscuits toasted with a little butter and a deep fried egg, or not deep fried, just regular fried egg. Piece of provolone cheese on that, maybe a little bit of avocado. That's a great breakfast treat.
Sounds
I've been trying to
delightful.
go to that more and more.
Sounds great.
Yeah, or like even trying to fry potatoes finally, just the way I like them. I think I figured out exactly that a couple of days ago, which was like some olive oil, some butter, garlic, salt, pepper, red pepper, and a little garlic powder on top of that. So I'm happy with the way those came out.
We
Making
just got.
Go on, Mitch.
Oh, we got a little overlap, Wags. Classic recording from
overlap.
home.
Classic Zoom overlap.
Hey, in the
What
pandemic,
fun.
every podcast is a Robert Altman movie. Every single one. Is this Doughboys or Nashville?
I now you know what? Now I forgot. Oh, no, I forgot it. It's gone. It's gone forever.
You were about to say we just got.
Oh, we just got an order to not go. We were told not to go to the grocery store,
Yes, this was
And
a local
I-
LA County ordinance.
and I ran out of groceries yesterday.
No.
That's
And then I was like, "What am I gonna do?" So I'm in a spot where I get I mean, today it was covered because I just went and got the meal for our place today. But
That'll cover you. I mean, because that's a big meal that you got, so that'll cover you for at least lunch and dinner.
yeah, I my dinners are squared away. It's
Yeah.
basically breakfast and oh, you piece of shit.
What?
I should
It's like
know
3 bites for you, right?
fucking needling me in there. I'm not gonna eat a whole ham. I don't eat a whole ham in 3 bites, Kevin.
Wait, is it true you call blocks of ham quibbies? Short for quick bites.
Kevin.
Sorry, I've
give you
been
the
reading your Tumblr a lot. I think you put out good stuff on it. I think more people should read it.
Kevin McAllister is more like it. You're
Because you want
a
criminals to
devious
come terrorize
troublemaker.
me.
Yeah, I do. I do want criminals to come in and try to
I
terrorize
mean, I am
you.
home alone for the quarantine, so there's that.
But you got that train set and you got that Michael Jordan standee, so
That's
you're sitting
right.
pretty.
But I'm an adult man, so the Michael Jordan standee is in rough shape at this point. Imagine having a Michael Jordan standee in a movie coming out in 2020. And it's him
great.
with like the little Hitler mustache doing like the Hanes ads or whatever.
Him with the really shitty distressed jeans.
Apparently he's addicted to Candy Crush now. Did you guys hear that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
my God.
ESPN is putting out this big Michael Jordan documentary. I think they moved it up because it was already in the can.
Yes.
And they have literally nothing else to talk about right now. But I think he's addicted to like little video games on his phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, if you're naturally competitive, I could see that being a thing that you would gravitate towards and want to be the best at.
Truly.
I mean, a lot of
Do you say
a lot of pro
it's in the can? You said.
yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it in the can. A quarantine
Oh,
life,
boy.
baby.
Oh boy.
You can
I mean,
watch. You can pull
you
the
could do that
TV in
before
there,
quarantine.
man. Yeah, but
It's not
now,
quarantine specific, is it?
now with quarantine, it's you can pull your big screen into the bathroom and just sit in there all day if you wanna.
Yeah, there's no rules. It's chaos. You know what? Speaking of that, Mitch, your current
Yeah.
roommate Shaq, I remember on Cribs, he
Yeah.
had a TV in his bathroom, and that was the first time I was like, I didn't know you could do that.
So when I leave the house, when I don't want to get robbed, I just tell Shaq. I turn on the lights. I tell Shaq to stand in front of the curtains so that people know that someone's home.
A very
Motionless
large
for
man is home.
hours. Oh.
I wonder what I would look like next to Shaq. You think I'd be a tiny little guy?
I
running
think you
through
would
his
because
legs?
he's 7'1", and you are what 6'4", 6'3", 6'3 and a half.
6'3", yeah.
Yeah, 6'3". So yeah, it'd be like the picture. It'd be like seeing Tracy McGrady next to Yao Ming. It's like there's such a huge. Even though one guy is like six, how tall is McGrady? 6'5", 6'6". Even though he's that tall compared to a 7'5" center, he looks tiny. Even Charles Barkley looks small next to Yao Ming. You'd look
You know what
tiny
they
next
should
to
do?
Shaq.
I mean, they shouldn't do this because I feel like it's too much time and money to do, but they should make an amusement park for big people where they feel small.
Oh, like
So-
those like museum exhibits where it's like a huge chair and you like sit under it like you're a little
Yeah. Yeah, it would be great.
But you're not talking about that because that would make anyone feel small. You're talking about just making a large person, say over 6 foot, a large person feel like a normal sized person. So everything's
Yes.
just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Well, it also has to do with training amusement park workers to not have fear in their eyes when they see someone like Mitch in line for a roller coaster. He's like, one, please, that their eyes don't just bug out immediately.
They don't start putting padlocks over the cotton candy stand.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You know me for, God, over a decade.
Wow.
Have you ever seen me eat cotton candy once?
You know what? No, I haven't.
I don't eat cotton candy. I probably haven't had cotton candy in a decade.
All right, sorry. I was trying to conjure a carnival food specific, a theme park food specific. I'm sorry for picking something you don't like.
Turns out you're a sizist, my friend.
Now, Nick, have you seen Mitch eat a funnel cake, though?
I don't, Mitch, because we've discussed, I brought up on the show.
Yeah,
my
like
idea
Wiger's ever been to a carnival with me or alone, even.
I've been to carnivals.
Hey, Funhouse. Hey, Funhouse guy, your mirrors are all warped. I just want like a regular, not warped mirror.
I was saying that I wasn't making a sizist remark. I was saying you're a man of a large appetite, as am I. But I was going to say this. As far as theme park food goes, I love funnel cake. And I think that is a food that could break out outside of the theme park carnival niche.
Yeah.
And you could make like a Cinnabon of funnel cake. This is a thing I pitched on the show before. Ooh. Mitch, I think you're a little skeptical of that. You don't think that would work in like a mall setting. You were eating ham as I'm talking.
I'm eating beans actually, but no, I don't think it could work.
Why is that? Why are you so skeptical?
I think it has a place, and the place is at a carnival.
Kevin,
but that's only because of the cultural association you have with it. If it was somewhere else, like you would only think of cinnamon buns as like being something you make at home until Cinnabon came along.
That's true. Good point, Kevin.
Fried dough is just a funny thing because I don't think it's a thing that like the pretzels, like Wetzel's pretzels and Anna's. What's her name? Is it
Anna's Bananas?
Auntie
Ann's. I had an Aunt Ann, so this is hard for me to. It's hard for me to figure it out. I think people feel okay with getting a pretzel. I think fried dough is just a different thing. It's like, hey, we're at the carnival, we're gonna get a piece of fried dough. I don't think that fried dough on its own could work.
Too heavy, maybe. Is that your concern?
In these health conscious times, I don't know. Maybe it could. But
in
there
these
is
uncertain health conscious times. I feel like maybe if you did like a different portion of it, if it wasn't like the circumference of like a plate, if it was something more like a smaller disc, a funnel cake, you could like.
That's a good. Yeah, if it was like those Cinnabon minis, if it was something that was less of like a commitment, less dinner plate sized. I was going to. This is making me think of this because once we emerge from lockdown, which I'm hoping will we hope it happens sooner than later, but obviously however long it takes is how long it takes.
September 2021.
You know what? That's a good goal to set because if it happens sooner, you're pleasantly surprised.
It'll be a big surprise. You'll be like, great.
Why not push it off into fall of next year?
Love it.
But
my question is, wait, this is too depressing. When do you think we will be out? When do you think it will end?
Well, okay, so I've heard...
Because this will age badly, which is good for the podcast anyways.
I'll say this. I have heard some colleges and schools in Southern California are prepping for fall semester to be taught online. So
wow, what?
That is I'm sure that is like maybe just thinking ahead of like, let's make sure in case that happens, we have a contingency. But I think there's some thinking in the public sector that it could potentially take us through the end of the year, take us through into winter. I think that we'll probably, I'm guessing that it will be the fall. I'm guessing that hopefully September, October will be at least a partial lift of this lockdown. But on that topic, when that happens,
wow! I said don't to say it because it will get people depressed, but now I am just depressed.
I mean, Mitch, has your life changed that much since this started?
People have said this to me, and like the fact that I'm a hermit. I leave my house for God's sakes. I go outside. I go outside, or I go to the bar on the weekend. I probably go out. When I'm not at work, I probably go out. I don't know. You go out with Natalie quite a bit, but I go out and meet people. I hang out.
Yeah, I don't do that. I will have. But I do get out of the house, and now I'm like because I've been going on these quarantine walks with like a scarf or a t-shirt now wrapped around my face, like a bandit. Feel very cool. And but now I'm like, is that even safe? Because the guidelines keep changing, and this week they're just so like just stay indoors, don't do anything. But then I read an article today that was like, it's actually good because sunlight and fresh air helps fight viruses, so you should be exposed to that regularly. I have no fucking idea.
The sunlight thing is something I first heard from one of my family members who is fervently anti-vax, and I thought it was nonsense. And then I'm hearing like other people, like, health officials say like, yeah, sunlight's good for the virus. It just feels like such a little kid understanding of how health works. Of like, the sun makes it go away.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, this was I don't know where this official was in the field of epidemiology. It was Dr. Jenny McCarthy. I don't know what her qualifications are. I have no idea. I think it's probably good. I mean, just because exposure to sunlight is like good for like your skin and your health in general, but I don't fucking know. In moderation, obviously.
I don't know how reputable this source is, but I saw a picture online the other day that Ant-Man had shrunk down and tried to fight the virus. So.
Oh man, wow. God bless him if he is. Ant-Man, we're all praying for you because we need you now more than ever.
Which of the Avengers do you think would be most likely to test positive for coronavirus?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Hawkeye, huh?
Nasty, not cool.
I think Captain America would. Captain America seems like a guy who would continue to shake hands with people.
Yeah, he would not. He'd pull the Boris Johnson. He'd insist on shaking everyone's hand.
Grief.
I don't know. I guess like it's who would be in most contact with people. It feels like certainly guys like Tony Stark and Nick Fury are just in contact with a lot of different individuals, a lot of different people.
Yeah, but they don't seem to be like touching them a lot. I mean, if we go from the conflict in Civil War, where Tony Stark is advocating for more security and, joining the UN deal that William Hurt came up with or whatever, and Captain America is more for liberty, like many parts of the country where they're like, no, we're going to keep having church services of 300 people or more because freedom is more important than literally being alive. So I feel like it probably would be Captain America.
Do you know what the Avengers should do? Like a move from the comics, like something the comics would do is like they should have like Michael Jordan join the Avengers.
But current
that would happen. That would happen in the comic books.
Yeah, they'd always do. There's like a fucking. I think there's an Avengers where they go and like they go to SNL or something. And maybe it's not the Avengers. It might be Justice League or something, or it's just a handful of disconnected superheroes. But like they go to the classic John Belushi SNL, and then John Belushi in character as his samurai, as his very problematic samurai character that's not aged well. He ends up defeating like whoever the fucking bad guy is
with the sword.
Yeah, he kills a Skrull or whatever those fucking things are called.
Yeah, Tony Hawk should be skateboarding with Tony Stark. I don't know.
Tony Hawk. I like this part.
Tony Hawk.
I like Tony Hawk.
A mashup.
Yeah, from the Lighthouse.
There's all these like. Have you seen this, Wiger? The online thing of like choose 3, which is it's a big thing this week. The choose 3.
We're all having fun.
We're all
choosing
choosing
3
3
fun now.
We're all choosing threes. We're all choosing 3s. We're having a lot of fun.
Can I remind us of all of the original choose 3 though? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Choose
right.
Him.
Yeah.
Hey, that way I choose all 3. That's perfect.
You get them all.
Great.
That's a nice thing. I would just real quick this Zoom call we have right now. These 5 people we have here: Kevin, Wiger, Mitch, second Mitch, and Emma. Choose 3.
Wow.
Ooh.
I choose first Mitch, second Mitch, and then I'm done.
And then a blank space. Oh, come on. The
Come on, I don't even get to stay.
It's not gonna hurt to
All right,
choose
Emma,
one
you
of
get to
us.
stay. Bye, Kevin. Bye, Wiger.
Speaking of SNL, I was in New York City at the beginning of March.
Were you really?
Wow.
I came back from an East Coast trip on March the 9th.
Oh my God! And
I was in Manhattan when the first positive case was reported. But
That's
I don't-
intense.
I don't believe I got it. Or if I did, I'm asymptomatic and I've gotten over it from since then.
Speaking of Kevin McAllister, you were almost lost in New York.
That's true. That's true. I didn't go to the President's Tower, but I did go to SNL. That was a fun time. Very small in there. Have you guys been?
I haven't, but I believe Mitch has.
Yeah, I hosted a couple seasons ago.
Oh,
Did you?
wow.
Wait, did you really? I must have missed that.
Oh
Wait,
yeah, that's
you-
the one where there was the ratings report came out and the Nielsen numbers went negative. They went below 0, if I
Right.
remember correctly.
People who
Well, they
watch it
missed out-
actually.
They missed out on a great Mitch Meets Mango sketch.
That's right. I remember because you sent me and I can say it now because you're not breaking an NDA. This stuff is aired, but you sent me some of the scripts for sketches you were in after the table read, and so yeah, you met Mango, and then you also met David S. Pumpkins, which was very cool.
Yeah,
In fact, I know-
just to be clear, Chris Kattan came back for a Mango appearance.
he came back
According
It
to
was-
Wiger's timeline here.
It's basically that all of your sketches were you as yourself meeting another famous SNL character.
And the
And they all
applause
kinda played
break
out
when
like-
they recognized the old player lasted so long that they didn't need to do the rest of the sketch and they just cut
Yeah.
to commercial.
It was really just
And-
a
and
big
it-
curtain call.
And it was basically just me being like, "Oh my God, Mango! It's like an honor to meet you." That was kind of the whole thing.
He's not saying his lines. He's not reading the cue cards.
Oh, I remember why I brought this out. Oh, because I saw friends of the show, Fran and Neil Campbell were there. And we had
yeah.
a nice time hanging out there after the show.
Yeah, they're great. I know. Yeah.
What a couple of sweeties.
We love
Was
Neil.
that? Were
the
you
Doughboys
at the?
love our
Were you at
Franny.
the? Yeah, Doughboys love our Franny. Were you at the last SNL that they taped before?
I think I was at the second to last one. It was the Mulaney,
Okay.
David Byrne episode. So it's
Oh,
the second to
cool.
last one.
Damn, crazy.
Yeah, what a time.
What a time.
Truly.
Now, before quarantine, did you guys ever do like outdoor movies that are so popular here in Los Angeles, like the Cinespia or the Eat See Here with the food trucks? Would you guys ever partake in those?
I don't love it. And they do one that they do at the Forever Hollywood thing at one of the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I don't remember
Yeah.
what that one's called. They
That's
do
the
that as well.
Cinespia one,
Oh, that's
yeah.
the Cinespia one. Okay. Yeah, I don't love outdoor movie because I don't like getting bit by bugs. Get them bugs out of here. I don't want bug bites. And and also
Kind of
I'm
the same
like,
reason not to like picnics.
yeah, I don't like I'm a picnic Scrooge for the same reason. I like going outside, but I don't want to sit in a fixed place for a long time and the bugs get
Never in a
wise to where
million
I'm at.
years would I. Never in a million years would I think that you would like an outdoor movie screening.
No, I like an indoor movie screening.
And the
I
last
bring it
like,
up
10
because one of the last ones I went to was the Eat See Here at the Autry Museum in
Okay.
Glendale, California. That's my favorite one to go to. Free parking, much better than the Hollywood Forever one because it's much less of a scene. But when I was there, who should I see behind me with his, girlfriend or wife or partner? I saw Chris Kattan. I saw Mango there.
Wow, Mango was there.
Yeah, he was there to see Fight Club with all of us.
How fun!
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool. That I like that sighting. That is I have in the last 10 years, if I had gone to one of those screenings, it was because I was like on a date, and I'm sure like during the date they're like, "Are you having fun?" I'm like, "Yeah." This
feel like-
rocks.
I feel like everyone had like a moment that was like that feels in retrospect dumb but was personal to you where it's like, oh, this is actually kind of serious, and you realize like the pandemic and coronavirus is like a real thing that's going to change our lives forever. I think for some people it was like, oh, the NBA got canceled, or like,
Yes.
oh, this or that. And for a lot of friends of mine and I, it was when they canceled outdoor movies for the summer here in LA because it was just such a pastime.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years for all of us to go out, and it was always like the fun summer thing to do in LA. And we
I
don't
don't.
get that.
I don't like the Hollywood Forever cemetery screenings. I think it's weird. I think that like
It is a little weird.
people are getting drunk and fucking pissing on Greta Garbo's fucking corpse. You know what I'm
Which they
saying?
do
Nick?
drag out.
I don't
for
think
that.
they were exhuming
Yeah.
her corpse and urinating on her skeleton.
You know that people are fucking pissing behind some gravestones. You know
I
it's
think
true.
people
sure.
there's no doubt that people are urinating on gravestones. I just don't think they're taking the extra leap to actually dig up a corpse and open up a casket and then piss on them.
Mitch, if I
And
may,
Nick.
I concur with you. I concur with
Yeah.
you on the Hollywood Forever ones. I don't think those are very fun. I think Eatsy here or street food cinema, that's another one in LA. I think those are much preferable experiences because
All right, good.
they kind of exist on the outskirts of like the center of like Hollywood or West Hollywood where the Hollywood Forever Cemetery is, and it's way more chill, a lot more families, lot more unpretentious people, and from time to time you get to see Mango himself.
Wow. Nick,
And
now,
yes,
now that you've heard that people might be pissing on graves, don't go dig up a grave and put yourself in the coffin. We know you're a
I'm
piss
dead.
freak.
Whoops. Rip Nick Wiger.
I don't know. That sounds like a Doughboys double to me. This could be your first one back from the quarantine. Gravedigger edition. That'd be fun.
And maybe
Hey,
I'll
you know-
reveal, you go into the grave and I reveal like in the Undertaker Boneyard match that it says Nick Wiger 1964 to 2020.
All right.
Did you watch the Boneyard match?
No, I haven't watched any WrestleMania yet. I don't know if I will. I feel weird. I feel weird about them even doing it. It's like strange to me.
They're still doing wrestling?
They still did up through WrestleMania, and I think AEW, the other promotion, was still at least pre-taping shows with no audiences, but it's still like not like a safe thing to be doing right now. Not that pro wrestling is all that safe for performers under normal circumstances, but this seems particularly grim. I have a hard time watching them just like, you know, in an empty 24-hour fitness, basically doing a wrestling match and then selling it like it's a real thing while you know that what's happening is that it's so dangerous to the performers. I don't know. But I get that, like, I heard that some of the WrestleMania was good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And they're heroes for putting it on. Vince McMahon is a true patriot.
Yeah, I feel like we've been giving too much shine to the nurses and doctors and
That's
essential
true.
workers. We need to be
Yes.
talking more about Vince McMahon.
When we come out of this, Vince McMahon is the true hero amongst us.
I probably like if Trump ever hears this, he's just nodding along, like in complete unironic agreement, picturing himself pinning a medal on Vince McMahon at the end of this. I'm wondering that because this I am thinking, and I did have this in my head, and I wanted to ask it earlier. When we emerge from this quarantine, and this also might apply to food. In fact, I think this would apply to food. Do you think we are going to have a new like a brief period of just like total hedonism? Where people are just going to have the freedom to like do whatever, like all these outdoor events and stuff are going to be completely flooded. People are just going to be like fucking key parties will come back or something.
I
and
think
then people
sexually
will just,
for sure. Yes.
sexually, and then people will also just be eating like fucking like Buca de Beppo and like these places that are just so indulgent. Are they going to come back in a big way?
I disagree
No.
with like maybe the food stuff because I feel like everyone's being pretty indulgent now
Oh, interesting.
as like comfort food, and everyone's just like snacking 18 hours out of the day because really not because they're hungry, but because they're bored and there's like no other activity rather than like Zoom happy hours, video games, movies, and eating. That's kind of like your hobby list is reduced
Right.
down so much. So I think food wise, like, yeah, you might go out to eat more, but I don't know, and spend more money. And obviously you will want to after it takes such a hit, the economy. But like, I don't know if people would just like heating out. I don't know. Maybe they will, but I feel like we're being pretty hedonistic now too.
That's a good point. Food wise,
You know what? Let me know when fucking everyone's done fucking, because then I'll come out of my quarantine too.
Hello.
I'm quarantined for the fucking big fuck session everyone's gonna have.
Oh,
Yeah,
you don't
me
want
too. I
to
wanna
do
be
that
locked
when you
down.
come out, Mitch?
No, I'm having no part of that. No one wants me there anyways, okay?
when that fuck fest is over and when everything's been hosed down, then the Doughboys will finally emerge from quarantine.
I mean, listen, there's been a lot of celebrity surprises that have come along with this pandemic. One of which is Mitch has become the new face of the abstinence movement for the True Love Waits campaign. He's got a promise ring on every finger on his little hands.
I had to get fitted for these rings. They got big ass fingers.
Now, Mitch, as someone who goes to the movies a bunch, what do you think's going to happen in movie going? It looks bad.
My big thoughts were that. What to me was I was like, oh man, what's the last movie? You know, I saw Extraordinary, the movie that Claudio Dardi's in, and that's the last movie I saw in the theaters.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, ooh, is that going to be the last movie I see in the theaters for a long time? And I think that it is. I think it's going to be a long while. The movie I was in that was supposed to come out on Christmas got pushed back, which is a bummer.
Sorry.
But on the long line of things, you know, who cares? But
Right.
but I feel like they pushed Top Gun to Christmas time. They're pushing a bunch of movies back. It feels like maybe around then, the holidays, maybe we'll be back. But I don't know. And that is the thing that I truly miss. And it scares me too because AMC is talking. There was an article about AMC maybe folding the other day. And look, AMC is like a giant corporation, but I'm like the alternative is like Netflix or fucking Amazon buys theaters. You know what I mean? And then that's a fucking night even worse. That's a worse scenario than AMC. Give me AMC before you give me fucking. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, the other buzz attached to the AMC stuff, because they already kind of weren't doing well even before coronavirus, but now it's that's Netflix or Amazon could buy them, but also a studio could buy them, Disney or Universal, and then at that point they might make their releases all day and date, theatrical and video on demand. That could be a huge possibility too.
Yeah,
which then gives people less incentive to go out at all. You know?
Yeah,
Well,
they're gonna
100%.
destroy movies.
And just in this era where, there is no antitrust enforcement at all, except unless there's a personal vendetta from the administration, then it's just because, studios are not supposed to have theater chains. That's supposed to be a point where that's anti-competitive for them to have both sides of it. And so then if you've got Disney owns their own chain and then they can control which Disney films are distributed where, that becomes a huge conflict of interest and something that's not great for the consumer and not great for the people who are actually, in these movies and also working at these venues. Mm-hmm. It's really it's really grim. I don't know. That's
fucking. You put a terrible thought into my head of man, it's Friday night and what are we gonna go see? Fucking Mr. Boogedy or Bedknobs and Broomsticks or some fucking bullshit.
To be fair, Mr. Boogedy is super underrated. I like Mr. Boogedy.
I mean, but I do too. But then you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be Disney.
We all like Mr. Boogedy.
We all like Mr. Boogedy.
We stand a Boogedy legend on the Doughboys podcast.
Wiger, what were you going to say? I interrupted you.
Well, it's even funny to think about Oscar season too.
Yes.
Because even I think October, November, December release dates are kind of generous, because even if we are back to normal by then or some semblance of normal, people are still going to be freaked out and retraining themselves out of the muscle memory of I can't go out. I can't go out again. And so will people even see it? And it's so funny to think about Oscars where it's Best Supporting Actor, Jim Carrey and Sonic, or whatever the case may be. If it's just the movies that came out in the first 3 months are the only movies eligible for nomination.
Vin Diesel in Bloodshot won 6 categories.
And the winner of Best Picture is Birds of Prey.
Wow.
Gracious.
I'm curious on that to your point, Kevin, because people will be retraining themselves, and I think of the casual things at restaurant or at movie theaters, one tub of popcorn for the family, or sharing a soda with your sweetie. I feel people are gonna have trouble even reorienting themselves to those practices.
Wait a minute, so you're saying that someone's gonna buy, I don't want to share my soda with my sweetie. What if she has COVID? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that'll be a conscious thing. I'm saying that we'll unconsciously be trained to be oh, we're not supposed to, oh, well, we got to be careful. I got to use a gloved hand to, put my arm around my girlfriend. You know,
To be fair, doesn't Natalie always use a gloved hand?
Yeah, she's adapted very easily.
She adapted like decades ago, from what I understand.
She's been wearing medical grade latex up to her forearms for every interaction with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of that. And I do wonder, you know, like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, no. But for everyone living through it right now, it'll be interesting to see, the things that we will be unable to unlearn. Even like people that like live through 9/11 stuff. And this affects us way more than I think 9/11 ever did. So
right.
Fuck 9/11. Coronavirus ate your lunch, 9/11.
It's true.
Boo-hoo, Steve Renazizi.
Whoa, easy. We're trying to get him on the pod.
For the Buffalo Wild Wings episode?
Yeah, I think ideally we'd like to have him on for a revisit to B-dubs. It's when you think of it in those terms of like, 9/11 is a quarter of COVID. Like, it's like, that's like, you know, because everyone puts into perspective as like, this is like 3 9/11s, but like, what if you reverse the math? It's just 9/11 is a third COVID. It seems like, well, it's weird that we completely redid our whole, like, completely reworked our whole foreign policy, and like this, you know, American culture of military worship kind of came about post 9/11. Like, all this stuff happened, but for an event that is comparably, tragic though it may be, not on the same level of our current crisis.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. What a fucking weird world we live in.
It feels like everything is a dry run for whatever the next thing. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mitch.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that a lot of the the battles in the future are just going to be in the microverse with Ant-Man and so on.
Yeah, God bless him. We need him now more than ever. Ant-Man and the Wasp, and whatever
the Wasp,
other
who hates social distancing.
Wasp hates it, but they're both at the microbial level trying to fight off all those diseases that are trying to take us out.
You saw those posts, right?
No, is that true?
Evangeline Lilly, like 3 weeks ago, was like, I'm taking my kids to the gym. I'm going to parties. I don't care about social distancing.
God.
I love liberty.
Man,
and she put in one of the
missed
comments,
that.
Interesting that this happened in an election year.
Oh, boy.
So
That
just think...
that is surprising.
That
the only
is
one I heard.
insane.
Yeah, the only insane celeb take I heard was the Vanessa Hudgens one, where she was basically like, we're all going to die anyway.
Like, people are going to die? It's inevitable? Yeah, that one was banana. It is interesting, too. Did you guys read that New York Times piece about celebrity culture being, like, completely falling apart now because of coronavirus?
Well, because, you just see how insane everyone is. Like, all these people are just completely off their rockers, just a bunch of fucking narcissistic maniacs.
Yeah.
Wiger said this, and I think I said this maybe on a full episode or a double, but when Josh Gad released his crying video, Wiger called for celebrity genocide.
We gotta call the celebs. They're causing problems.
Hey, get rid of Gad. That's fucking good news for me.
Josh Gad said it's okay to cry, and Wiger says it's okay for celebrities to fry.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with more Doughboys. Hey, in these trying times, it's nice to support your loved ones and your community if you have the means. An unexpected gift, an extra large tip, be sure to do that if you're getting takeout. Or in particular, if you're dining out at a patio or something like that, boost that gratuity. The floor is no longer 15%. It's way higher. And things may have changed around us, but our inner drive to be there for the people who we care about runs deeper than ever. When we come together as a community, we empower ourselves to make meaningful change. Our normal has changed, and we're finding new ways to connect and continue supporting one another. We started social distancing when we spend time with friends and explore local cuisine. And what if you're just finding out about this now through me? Social distancing. Watch the news. And we're doing more to support and advocate for underrepresented communities. So what we need more than ever is an easy way to support each other from afar. The solution. PayPal. There you go. With the PayPal app, sending and receiving money is faster or easier. Who knew? It was PayPal all along. Stay connected with the people you love. Quickly and securely send money to friends and family, just about anywhere in the world. Start a money pool to split the bill, or go in on a gift, or fundraise for a good cause. Support the places and causes you care about the most. Make touch-free QR code payments at your local restaurant or favorite farmer's market. Donate to a local nonprofit or support a cause from across the country. PayPal is making it easy to pay safely, quickly, and easily. Download the PayPal app today. Terms and conditions apply. Do you experience stress or have anxiety or chronic pain or have trouble sleeping at least once a week? You are not alone. Many of us do, including myself. All of the above. Anxiety, trouble sleeping, those bother me the most. I was searching for anything that would help. Then I discovered Feels. What is Feels? Feals, Feels. Feels is premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep. Feels naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. Place a few drops of Feels under your tongue and feel the difference within minutes. Now, the product is called Feels, Feals, but feel the difference here is spelled traditionally Feel. So, Feels is the product. Feel is what you will do. The thing to remember about CBD is that finding your right dose is important, and everyone's dose is different. So leave room to experiment over the course of a week or so. You may need to take more or less to get the effects you're after. New to CBD, Feels offers a free CBD hotline to help guide your personal experience. Breaker, having trouble sleeping. That's a 10-4, good buddy. Feels works naturally to help you feel better. There's no high, hangover, or addiction. CBD hotlines kind of sounds like CB radio. That's where I was going with there. Join the Feels community to get Feels delivered to your door every month. You'll save money on every order, and you can pause or cancel anytime. By the way, I know we get some long-haul truckers who listen to the podcast. God bless you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your service. Stay safe out there on the road. Feels has me feeling my best every day, and it can help you too. Become a member today by going to feels.com/doughboys, and you get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's feals.com/doughboys to become a member and get 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/doughboys. Welcome back to Doughboys.
Wait, we have
Kevin-
another guest on.
What's that? We have another guest on? Oh,
Look
we
at
do.
that.
We do. We got interrupted by the presence of one of Mitch's charming cats who is
one of
appearing
them,
on.
huh?
I'm going to say that's Irma.
That's Wally.
You idiot. It's Wally. How do you
They
get
look
this
the
wrong?
same.
Wally has
They're
more weight
both-
on his nose.
Well, he has
they're-
white down his nose.
They're two black and white cats. They look the same to me. They're both very
You-
cute.
That is foolish.
I hear Irma though.
Oh, she's
no, that was
crying.
Wally.
That was
meowed.
Wally.
Yeah.
Wally never talks.
Yeah, he's a little bit more quiet. He doesn't want to be in my arms right now.
We
Mitch,
do
how
have
do
a
you
new
feel about
guest.
the news that cats could possibly contract coronavirus?
Oh, it's terrifying. Well, Wally and I I'm gonna stay safe for this guy. He looks funny right now, does he not, Wags? I mean, I know
he
that
looks
no one
very
can see
funny.
this.
He looks a little
He's adorable.
squished.
Yeah, he's
Like his head
a little
looks
checked
squished.
out.
He's a cute little guy. Our human guest, Kevin T. Porter, and our chain this week, Honeybaked Ham. Now, Honeybaked Ham was founded in Detroit in 1957.
He just did a kind of a semi dab, just to let everyone know at home.
It was a very cool dab. Thank you for that bit of color, Mitch. Founded in Detroit in 1957, over 400 locations as it currently stands, and surges around the Easter holiday when a lot of people have ham.
Interesting.
What? What are you doing?
Hey, around
are you doing?
Easter. Around
What are you
Easter.
doing? What are you doing?
Oh, is this about Bunny Day and Animal Crossing, Mitch?
You want me to call it Bunny Day?
Yes, call it Bunny
we
Day,
say-
please.
We say Easter on Doughboys.
Whoa.
We say Easter and
Oh,
Christmas
man.
on Doughboys. We don't
That's
say
like-
Bunny Day.
That's like one of those conspiracy theories you see on Twitter where it's like, ham sales go up right next to Easter. Just saying, ... It's like, what are you saying? I don't understand.
A lot of pumpkins being sold around Halloween. But, you know,
Makes you think. Makes you
but I'm just sipping tea.
Yeah,
Just a
listen.
frog sipping tea.
I could be wrong.
Kevin, as someone with as someone who with a lot of church in your life, as someone who is I'm curious about your thoughts on Easter as a food holiday and your thoughts on specifically on ham, the centerpiece of a lot of Easter dinners.
Sure. So I don't associate Easter specifically with much food other than like chocolate Easter bunnies. I don't think, like, growing up, we never had like Easter feast after Sunday service or whatever, after like
Right.
the Easter service. Although I know that like culturally a lot of people do. But that aside, I do love ham. I don't have ham a lot. I don't like go out and get ham sandwiches or buy ham from the grocery store a lot. So whenever I have it, it's a nice treat and I really enjoy it. But it's not something that I associate with the holiday terribly much.
Interesting. For me, it was, and Mitch, we'll get your thoughts in 1 second. For me, it was always an extended family day, particularly on my mom's side. My mom's side was, I mean, both there are religious people on both sides of my family.
On
but
many
my
sides.
on many sides, there are
On many
religious
sides.
people on many sides. But my mom's side is all like everyone's Episcopalian, and they're all like the same denomination. My dad's side is a little bit more fragmented, some agnostics, some more evangelical types. But so on my mom's side, it was always an extended family gathering at my late grandma and grandpa's house, and then it was always we'd go to church and then go there. My grandpa would read a little something from the Bible before, like read a little blessing, and then we'd have a big ham dinner, and that was a big thing. And as I was having this, I was wondering how many times that ham dinner was in fact a honey baked ham, because although I've gotten honey baked ham on my own, I never knew exactly what we were having at those childhood gatherings. If it was something store bought, if it was something prepared. I think sometimes they did make it, because I remember seeing a thing with a bunch of cloves stuffed in it that felt homemade. But other times it was definitely store bought. But I remember loving it. I always preferred that to some of the other food holidays because I just like ham so much, and I also like the casual late lunch feel to it. Mitch, what is your Easter holiday like? Food from a food standpoint, beyond the candy.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, of course it would be. My sister and I would hunt eggs that were just filled, like that. We would have an Easter egg hunt in the morning, and then those were filled with little candies. To me, Easter I always associated with like the most like churchy holiday. Was like you had to dress up, and usually in like some shitty Easter type like uncomfortable clothing, and then do the Easter egg hunt, and then you go to church. And then, it would be, I even remember way too generous with my mom, but like she put like a Super Nintendo game in my basket one year.
That's
and
amazing.
It was like, and I ruled, and I was like, this is, over the top. And it was clearly like, that Easter sucks. You know that this is like, you got me excited for this shitty holiday. This is the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst one. As far as holidays go, it's not that fun. It's not a fun one for a kid. You know what I mean? And I kind of
and church is a little morose. It's a little. The service is a little. I mean, like I feel like a little bit more grim. Am I wrong?
That's not my experience of it. That might be Mitch's though.
I feel like for Christmas, we used to do Christmas Day. We'd open our presents and then go to church and then go to like my grandparents' house on Christmas Day. My dad's parents, and then we started doing Christmas Eve, and that didn't seem too bad. Church on Easter always just seemed fucking long, and I just have that association with it where I was like, this fucking sucks. I hate going to church. And then we'd have ham, and like that would be like the reward was like this ham dinner. I'm a little bit of a ham skeptic, as Wiger knows.
Yeah, I'm aware of this.
But I gotta say, look, we'll talk about it when we talk about it. Mm-hmm. I maybe enjoyed a lot of what I had today. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I want to touch on one thing you brought up, Mitch, because I thought I didn't know how many families did this, but my mom similarly, nothing on the level of a Super Nintendo game, but we would get like one
All right,
small
I'm spoiled.
toy.
I get it.
I'm not saying you're spoiled. I'm not saying that.
Check your privilege, Doughboys. Check your privilege.
I'm saying in the Easter basket, we would get like one small toy that I always look forward to, a bunch of candy, and then like just like one G.I. Joe figure or like one Ninja Turtle, like just one little thing that was always like, oh, that's nice. I like that I have something tangible beyond all this candy that's going to give me a tummy ache. Kevin, what were your Easter baskets like?
Easter baskets were just like back when we were kids, we had a backyard and they would like, hide eggs all over the backyard in Texas, which was like fun for like half of the hunt, and then it was just like boring because we just couldn't find stuff.
Right.
And so we would just like give up, and they'd like get them and tell us where they were and stuff. But I mean, that was it. It was just like the egg stuff. My mom didn't really love cooking that much. She liked doing breakfast, but as far as like the big feast, that just wasn't part of our family culture. So really the biggest food memories I have having to do with Easter is like going out for a nice Easter dinner as an adult after like an Easter service or something.
Oh, okay. And where are your where do you go? Like, where do you choose to go after as an adult?
A couple years ago, we went and got Thai food.
Oh, that's fun.
A couple years before that, we went to a Mexican place we all really liked a lot. Yeah, we didn't try to thematically tie it too much to the holiday. Although, I mean, for the day of, I think for a lot of churches, it's like the big blowout party day of the year. Because it's the whole thing of like, it's the most important day. It's actually, people love saying, it's actually better and more important than Christmas. And culture gets that wrong.
Oh,
Easter's
I heard that all the
way
time.
better, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
it's
was
like, not really, but okay.
No.
Yeah, so just different restaurants around LA.
Christmas is the birthday. It's Jesus' birthday. That's more fun. What are they talking about?
I think it feels like it's like that to me feels like the hardcore church fans version of like someone saying that like, Reservoir Dogs is actually better than Pulp Fiction.
It's the Christian version of the prequels actually slap in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I just want to make it clear that when I got that Super Nintendo game, it was in the late cycle of Easter. Like Easter, we didn't like do Easter. I feel like the year or two after that, it was just over. You know what I mean? Like, because I usually got like a Ninja Turtle like a figure or something, and like I would get something like that. But for that last, like one of the last things, my mom was trying to, I think, still get me on board with Easter, and also it was always bunny themed game.
It was always a bunny-themed game.
Mm-hmm. Roger Rabbit, Rabbit Rampage, something like that along those
Jazz
lines.
Jack
Bunny, Super Mario Rabbids on Switch.
Yeah.
Rabbids, yeah.
Great.
But I just never. It just is a fucking whack holiday. It's bad. I don't know.
Right,
I mean,
let's
of
take it
course.
easy.
Well, I can't say it's whack.
It's all
Take it easy.
fake. He was dead. Jesus never rose. He never resurrected. Mitch, oh my God.
I can't say that it's kind of a whack holiday.
I think when I think of a whack holiday, I think of like Flag Day. I was like, what is this? Come on, give me a break.
Did you know that you picked the holiday that Quincy, Massachusetts prides himself on being like the biggest? We have like the biggest
boy.
Flag Day holiday. I swear to God.
Of course.
That's so cool. I love that.
Big Flag Day parade with a big float of Mark Wahlberg beating the crap out of an immigrant shopkeeper.
That happened in Dorchester, which is right over the bridge.
I'm sorry. That's
It's weird that when he released his schedule where he wakes up at like 3 a.m., that part of the schedule was like eat a raw egg smoothie, work out, beat the crap out of a homeless guy, 4:45. Why would you put that in the itinerary?
yeah. Well,
Conference call to plan Quincy's Flag Day parade.
Do you think that Wahlberg thinks he also could have stopped COVID-19 if he was in the right place? At the
different
right time?
situation. If I was in that lab, I'm just saying it goes down differently.
My Quincy friends always make. I mean, that's the thing I told you, Nick, is that they all are like, fuck Wahlberg. They don't like Wahlberg.
No, I know a lot of guys from Boston don't actually like Wahlberg.
But also, I told you, what?
No, go on.
I told you that when I drove by him on the Fox lot with my Red Sox jacket, he was like, hey, nice jacket. He liked my jacket.
Wow.
Is it possible he thought you were Turtle?
What were you gonna say, you piece of shit?
Oh no, I was just saying we were having fun. I know you don't actually like. I know that's not actually what Quincy's like. We were just having fun here.
Speaking of Easter,
interesting.
Wahlberg is hardcore Christian now.
He is super duper Christian.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of that's a sector of celebdom where there are some people who just like are very fervently religious. They always, people always think of liberal Hollywood, and not that necessarily dictates someone's politics, but I think there are a lot of conservative Christians who are big celebrities.
Mitch's
Do you think that we're
co-star, Chris Pratt, big Christian.
Me too. Now, I'm into
he
it
converted
now.
you. That's awesome.
Wow.
Did he
I
praise
was gonna
you
go-
on set?
I was gonna say that do you think that there's gonna be a Wahlberg Jesus? Do you think he'll play Jesus ever?
Ooh boy, he'll like pull a Jim Caviezel. I could see it happening. I could see him being Jesus.
But in this, he
Yeah.
just beats the shit out of all the Roman soldiers and never goes on the cross.
Would have gone down differently if
It's
they were
like the
trying to crucify
Tarantino
me.
version of the Bible, alternate
Just what
history.
I'm just saying. They tried to crucify me. Might have been different.
He says he regrets Boogie Nights so much. He regrets
Yeah.
ever making that movie. He
His
truly
best
did say
movie,
that.
one of
I
the
know.
best movies.
His best performance.
I know. Oh gosh.
So Honeybaked Ham, I picked up from the Culver City location. So right now,
Wiger.
part of the reason, yes.
I mean, I was just gonna say that you watch that movie like constantly, don't you? At least like the last 30 seconds.
Just the last
of it.
30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it saved on my phone.
Your lock
that's
screen.
That hog is out of this world.
It's really he's got quite a pipe there. It's prosthetic. Calm down. It's prosthetic, but when you finally reveal it, you're like, oh yeah, that thing looks good.
That was a real
get
Santa
what all the
Claus
fuss is
isn't
about.
real moment for Wiger is finding out it was a prosthetic. He's like, really? No, maybe the crew lied about it. No. It
Put a
really
hole
is.
through my drywall.
Oh man.
So I went to Honeybaked Ham, the Culver City location. This is the thing. They've been advertising this a lot on because we have regular ass TV here. We're old enough where that's like we still fucking have TV or whatever. So we just have that, and so they've been airing these commercials constantly. Basically, I think Honeybaked Ham reminding people that we still can give you an approximation of Easter if you want it, and we have hams, and we have curbside pickup, we have delivery. Please come. And so I ordered online for this place. The menus are different based on whether you order in-store pickup or curbside delivery. The website's a little confusing, but the workers were very helpful, and when I called them up, they reassured me my order was ready. When I got there, I had curbside pickup, but they were still like, you can come into the store, and everyone was gloved up and masked up, and very good socially distanced handing of the ham over to me.
Yeah.
What I got was the small gathering meal, which feeds 4 to 6, it says. I think that's a little charitable. I think
wait
a
a
family
minute.
of...
4 to 6, you say?
Yeah.
Mitch's is gone already.
Yeah, those aren't Doughboys numbers.
Goodies.
Yeah. It's a 6 is I don't think you could feed 6 with maybe if you've got like a mom and dad and 4 small children, maybe that could be your 6, but 6 adults, there's no way this ham is going that far. But you get a honey baked mini ham, which is still pretty substantial, a large baked beans, a large cheesy potatoes, and then they give you a bag of dry soup mix, which you can use for later with that ham hock when you're done getting all that meat off the bone. What did you guys get? Mitch, we'll start with you.
I didn't get that bag.
You didn't get the soup mix? What did you get?
I got this. Oh shit! Wally's caught up in some wires.
Oh boy.
I got the small gathering meal as well. You told me what you got, so and you said that you and Kevin got the same thing. So I try to do the same thing. I got the small gathering meal, which came with a small ham and some turkey, and I got the cheesy potatoes and I got the beans. But in addition, I also got a bag of Hawaiian rolls,
Okay.
which were on display there, and their tantalizing mustard, which is Josie's tantalizing mustard. She told me that it was the most popular mustard because you know what? That's the topping with ham. It's mustard. You put mustard on the ham.
Hey.
I
No?
like, when it comes to mustard, I like just like a yellow mustard with ham, even though I like a deli mustard.
Okay,
And I like,
that's
sometimes
fair.
like there's a Beaver brand sweet hot mustard I really like. I like that what was it, the Gildan's, whatever that brand is. I don't know how you say it, but that deli mustard's very good.
I just
But I
want
like
to say
this yellow mustard with ham.
I just want to say right off the bat, I'm not a mustard shamer. I hate mustard shame. Don't shame me for my mustard. Sometimes I like yellow. and sometimes I'm gonna switch it up with spicy mustard.
Whoa,
I'm
whoa,
with you.
whoa, Mitch, buddy. Who's shaming you for your mustard?
Everybody's shaming me for my mustard. Sometimes I like yellow mustard on my hot dog. You know what I mean, Nick?
I like it too. Yellow mustard's great. These
Yeah.
fucking trolls in our @replies.
Trolls World Tour in your replies.
They're all in there. They're all singing that Justin Bieber song. Get out of there. Let us have our yellow mustard in peace.
We like yellow.
We like
Leave
yellow.
us alone.
Yellow's fine.
Yellow is fine.
Yellow's fine.
Kevin, do you like mustard with ham? And what order did you end up getting?
I got basically the same order you did, Nick. I did get the bag of dry soup fixins.
Ooh, I didn't
Now-
get that. What the fucked up?
Sorry, I don't know. I don't know how you missed out on that. You can have mine after this COVID-19 nonsense is over. I'll keep it for you. I'll drop it off. But I had a weird situation. I probably screwed this up. But I ended up calling 3 different locations and ended up picking up my order from West Covina,
Oh, wow.
which is like not too far from where I live in Pasadena, but not too close either. But I picked up my order, and I don't know if you guys had this experience, but when I got back, my ham was in good shape. It was like nice and juicy and ready to rock and roll. My sides were frozen.
Frozen. Not
Yeah,
just cold, but frozen?
My cheesy potatoes and my beans were frosty frozen.
Wow.
Wow.
So I did have to heat them up on the stovetop a little bit. And even when I
Yes.
did that, it was kind of watery after that because of the freezing.
So the meal does come, and this is a bit of clarity for everyone out there who might be entertaining this notion. Although I think this episode will actually release after Easter, so at this point maybe you're over ham.
Fuck!
Or want to get a ham on a discount. I don't know. But it all comes cold, and there aren't specific reheating directions that are bundled with it. So the ham, it advises you to just have room temp. You're supposed to just take it out of the fridge and then have it sit there for 30 minutes on the countertop, and then have it room temp. The sides you do have to heat up. They're pretty simple to heat up, and you can do it in a microwave. But
I nuked mine.
They
I
do
nuked
come
the
cold.
beans and the beans and the cheesy potatoes.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have nuked it. Maybe doing it on the stovetop wasn't the way to go.
I
I don't know.
I mean,
If it was frozen hard, I don't. That's rough.
yeah, I think you might have to go stovetop because I think you have to do it a little slower and heat it thoroughly to. I don't know if you could. I will say even heating it in the microwave, it was not ideal. But again, this whole thing I think is for a family who doesn't cook and/or in these unique circumstances, someone who's like, well, I want to have something that feels like the Easter dinner I would have at home, so I'm just going to get this, and this will kind of approximate that. So I think like from that standpoint, you know, it ticks some boxes off. The sides were unusual based on what I associate with a ham dinner. Like I like them both. I like the beans and I like the potatoes. I will say beans for me too sweet, potatoes a little too cheesy. But they were both good sides, but I don't necessarily have a strong association of either with ham. They seem unique to this chain. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
It felt like almost Thanksgiving, but not quite. It felt
Right.
like Thanksgiving adjacent sides and like a meal. And today, the day that we got our stuff, because we could have gotten anything, but it looked like the only thing that was available for us to pick up today was one of these like big boy packages for like 4 to 6 people to feed them.
Yeah.
Because they do have like little sandwich combos and salads and things like that, but they just weren't offering them today.
Yeah, they do have a normal menu, and I think because of the current situation, they're just not offering it.
I couldn't even order over the phone.
Really?
Which I thought was kind of, I was like, this is kind of bad for the situation. And then when I got there, they were taking huge precautions. The doors were open, and there was tables separating. Like you couldn't even get close to the counter, basically. So I was like, okay, they have a system that they do, but I couldn't just. I think maybe they were afraid of someone ordering and not picking it up or something like that. But yeah, I had to drive to the restaurant and then go in and order what I wanted, which was weird.
Yeah, it's a little. It does seem a little clunky. You know, again, I think they're figuring it out on the fly, but it does seem like they're not used to obviously, who would be used to these
COVID-19?
restrictions?
They're not used to COVID-19?
They're not used to this normal thing, COVID-19.
Why? I didn't get to say that. I'm not going to be able to get on stage at UCB for a full year.
Yeah.
I think a little more than a year.
Oh, boy, that's grim. What did you guys think of those sides? What did you think of the beans and the potatoes?
I like the beans. I like the beans a lot. Again, this is all colored by like the whole frozen then reheating it in like 15 to 20 minutes because it was a little bit watery, but I actually like the sweetness of the beans. I wasn't sure what else was in there besides the beans and the sauce, but there were other pieces of maybe meat. Was there like
There are
bacon
pieces
in
of
there?
ham.
So there are
that's
pieces of ham in there. Okay.
That's the thing about honey-baked ham is there is ham throughout. There are chunks of ham in the beans and there are chunks of ham in the potatoes.
I don't have chunks of ham in the beans or potatoes for real.
Wow.
Strange.
Yeah.
I wonder if they gave you the veggie ones.
I went to the Glendale. That was the Glendale honey baked ham. Right near my trainer, which maybe now this will be instead of my trainer, I'll just go to the honey baked ham 3 days, 3 days a week.
Man.
I too enjoy the beans. I also don't think that these are that weird for sides. I guess I differ from you guys on that because like I remember like kind of a cheesier potato or like scalloped potatoes would be more a ham side with Easter than like mashed potatoes. Sometimes mashed potatoes, but that mashed potatoes is 100% Thanksgiving or like turkey dinner. And then like it would be like cheesy potatoes or scalloped potatoes. I gotta say
fair with the scalloped potatoes points. You're right. These are adjacent to scalloped potatoes.
I will say this, Wags. Cheesy potatoes can never be cheesy enough to me. Make them as cheesy as you want. I accept the cheese. I want the cheese.
Wow.
I like it cheesy. I like them. I like to take it cheesy, but I will say that this. I mean, I think it was that there was too much of this particular cheese sauce because it's not exactly just. It's not like it's a weird. It's almost kind of like nacho-y to me. It was just it was just like a little too creamy of a cheese sauce. Like I didn't quite like the consistency of it.
Yeah, I see.
I liked him, but I'll say that wasn't my Spoonman bite of the night, and neither were the beans. The beans were good. The beans are. I love a Bush's baked beans, and they're like kind of similar, like maybe a little bit more. They were a little bit more sweet, right?
That was the issue for me is that they were a little too sweet. I would have liked I love baked beans, but I like them just a little bit more vinegary, a little less just brown sugar, which is just loaded in there. But I think I slightly prefer the beans to the potatoes. I would say what I associate more is less beans. I think of potato wise, scalloped potatoes sometimes, but I more think of like a potato salad because I just think of like more of a picnicky sort of setup.
Do you know what might be an issue?
What?
I saw in the back in my kitchen, Mick Jagger was back there.
Oh no! What was he doing?
Wow, interesting.
And he was in charge of the beans.
Oh, so he must have put a lot of
brown sugar.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, that's
gosh.
probably what that. You know what? It's weird. It's interesting how celebrities are dealing. We talked about it earlier. Celebrities are behaving very oddly with this current COVID crisis. I guess Mick Jagger is now working at the Glendale, California honey baked ham store. And adding too much brown sugar to the beans.
I said, "How much are you going to put in there?" He goes, "As much as I want, man."
He kind of sounds like George Harrison.
Hey, I'm Mick Jagger. I'm in the Rolling Stones. I'll come to your emotional rescue at Honeybaked Ham.
Wow, good for him though. Giving back.
Good
to
for
the
him.
community.
Yeah, that's
Can
great.
I ask you guys? Can I poll you guys real quick?
Yeah.
Please.
Was this detour worth it? What I just took us this little
Yeah.
detour I took us on.
In this detour, asking for confirmation of it is he making it more worth it.
Yeah, I'm with Kevin. Yes, on both accounts.
Wow.
Very much worth it. Let's talk about the main event, the ham.
Woo!
The main attraction here. They give you a big old ham. This is a big boy. Even the mini ham.
Shouldn't
is
we talk about
substantial.
the fucking turkey first or no? I guess we should
You know
talk
what?
about
Yes,
the ham first.
we didn't get turkey, but you got turkey. So you tell us your turkey thoughts.
I'll say
Talk
this: that
turkey,
the turkey was, and I like turkey. I enjoy turkey. The turkey is made very similar to it's very similar to the ham, in that it's just coated with fucking
whatever that
glaze.
sugary, the brown sugar, the glaze.
Yes.
It's fucking super coated with it, but I don't think it's as tasty as the ham, which is crazy for me, a ham skeptic. But that should just take us right into the ham.
Yes, it's
Was
well,
good.
I mean,
The ham is good.
it's what built their chain. Ham. It's in the name. Honeybaked ham.
Why are you a ham skeptic, Mitch?
I just think of like all the big. I mean, like, and I know a lot of people don't love turkey, but I think like if you make a big turkey dinner, I think that the turkey is good, and I enjoy turkey. I like a deep fried turkey too. I like turkey, especially if it's moist and done well. I enjoy turkey dinner. Ham to
Okay,
me
so
just
it's not so much you don't believe in ham; you just believe in other things more.
I would rather have brisket. I would rather like ham is like
That's
when
fair.
it comes to sandwiches, that's never my protein in it, and I never want to get like a turkey sandwich because that's boring. Even though I eat that for lunch constantly, like I ham is kind of like my last choice. I'll get it like an Italian sub has ham mixed in there, and that's fine. But if it's the main the main ingredient, I don't know. I just don't. It's not. A ham and cheese? No, thank you. You know what I mean? It's no fun to me. It's just boring.
It's an unconventional take from the Spoonman on this one. I think a lot of people really do like ham. I think that probably, if anything, ham is kind of a crowd pleaser, at least on a sandwich, as the basic deli meats go. But I get, but it's fine. I don't feel strongly enough about ham to want to go.
Isn't it boring? Isn't ham boring? No.
I think people would argue. I think people would argue turkey is boring.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think to
ham-
me, turkey is boring and dry when I think of it. Even though I like it a lot in practice, but I think ham is way more interesting. There's way more flavor there to me.
It aligns with it's the Easter of deli meats. I think. Fucking boring.
Damn.
Wow.
Good
It's
grief.
quite a condemnation there.
Now align all the other meats with holidays that you don't like.
Ooh, this is a good exercise.
Oh wow.
What's turkey then? Is turkey Christmas?
I think turkey is Flag Day because that's
Turkey
Quincy's
is
high
Flag
holiday.
Let's see. Corned beef gets St. Patrick's Day.
Sure.
I mean, come on, right?
Kind of 1-to-1 there. Yeah, sure.
I mean, yeah. All right, that's a good point. Brisket. What will brisket? You know what? Halloween gets brisket.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Love Halloween.
What do you think of that? You don't like it, Wags?
No, I think it's fine. I'm curious. I just want to please keep going. You got your Christmas. You got your New Year's Day. You got your Groundhog Day.
I have to do all these holidays?
I don't know. Do a couple more.
All right.
Do tofu.
Tofu's a good one. Where does tofu go?
Tofu goes to
Hanukkah?
Columbus Day. No, not Hanukkah.
Oh no.
What, Columbus Day?
Given a very problematic day for tofu.
I don't like tofu. I don't like Columbus Day.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Vegans, colonizers.
Is Marathon Monday? What is the holiday? Emma, help me out here.
This is a Boston only holiday, I believe. Marathon.
Yeah, it's-
Marathon Monday. I forget what they call it, but that is Boston only.
I forgot the damn holiday.
It's
Patriots Day. Patriots Day gets
It's the name of that
Starring
movie.
Mark Wahlberg.
cheeseburgers for Patriots Day.
Wow. You think very highly of Patriots Day.
I love Patriots Day.
Patriots Day is fun in Boston because the entire city
Patriots
closes.
Day is fun. We get the day off. I mean,
the
it
entire
is a
city
fun day
closes
in
and
Boston.
everybody just gets hammered all day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Like
every
all the-
day ever now for everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I know.
cheese.
Exactly.
Every day is Patriots Day in Boston for the world now.
I guess it doesn't make sense, but Christmas gets hamburger. It makes sense. It gets hamburger meat.
Sure.
I'm not going to do these anymore. I didn't like doing it once.
You've done enough. Wasn't it your idea?
No, I just said that ham is the Easter. I said
told them to do it.
I said Easter is it's like a ham of it's the ham. It's the ham
I
of
said,
holidays.
Keep chasing this
or
down,
vice versa.
buddy. You're onto something.
Well, I think we have a very good sense of where you stand on these various holidays. and the
Mother's
associated
Mother's Day is eggs.
Like deviled eggs.
meats. That makes sense.
Eggs because we are born from eggs.
We were born from mommy's eggs.
And we
that's
need
We're born from-
protein like we need mommies.
I say to my mother, every day I think about how lucky I was to get into one of your eggs, Mother. That's what I say to her.
So you think you were one of your dad's sperm, and then you wiggled your way into one of your mom's eggs, and that's how you
That's
were
how
made?
boys are made.
That's not how it happens?
I'm actually with Mitch. I thought that's how it happened too.
I don't know a lot about that stuff. Hey,
Do you think
let's,
you think my sperm had like a really big head?
that's how it nudged everyone outside of the picture.
It probably looked like a fucking. If my dad gave a sperm sample, it probably would have looked like a fucking tadpole.
It's the only one that fought its way out of his urethra.
Gracious.
Let's talk about let's talk about that ham a
for the
little bit.
poster boy of abstinence culture.
The
Fucking's
ham,
gross, I told you.
fucking is disgusting. The ham is very good. I think it's a very good quality ham. It's very moist.
good.
I liked having it room temp. That glaze, that honey baked glaze on top of it is. I think you have to think of it like Natalie characterized it like a salt crusted fish that you get, where you just have to get that crust out of there. You're not actually supposed to eat it. It's just supposed to imbue.
Wait, what?
The meat with that flavor.
I think you
I
are
ate
supposed to
mine.
eat it.
You can eat it, but I think there's a thought.
I think it's fucking delicious. I think you're out of your mind.
It's very good. It's but it's so sweet that I think you can chisel some of that out of there and still enjoy it on that level. But it is an extremely cloyingly sweet bit of glaze that I think is best consumed as like kind of, a little bit with a big bite of ham. But the ham itself, the meat is very good. Kevin, what did you think of that ham?
I thought it was terrific because it was the one portion of my meal that was at the temperature I wanted it to be immediately. So I didn't have to like finagle in the lab to get it to like an edible temperature. So I loved it. I love the glaze. I think this might have been my first time having a honey glaze on a ham like this because it was so like foreign to me biting into it, which sounds insane to say, but I guess I'd never had like a properly honey glazed ham like that. So it was very exciting and novel to me. And I had like a little bit more ham than I thought I would because of that.
Oh, sorry, Nick.
No, go ahead, please.
I nuked my ham and turkey for about 30 seconds. 30 minutes. I put a couple slices of each on the plate, and I nuked my beans and my potatoes, which I got pretty warm. It didn't really do much to the ham and turkey. The Spoonman bite of the night came when I took a piece of ham, put it in a Hawaiian roll, put some of this, what's it called again? Tantalizing mustard on it. Took a bite of that. That was my Spoonman bite of the night. Delicious.
Wow.
It was great. I loved it.
Is this a new segment of the show? There's always a bite of the night.
Yeah, this is a thing that Mitch started and at our live show at Salt Lake City. He introduced Mitch's Bite of the Night, and then at our live show in Denver, I introduced Wiger's Bite of the Night. And I guess I would say that Wiger's Bite of the Night is just that ham in isolation. Just a nice bite of ham.
Mm-hmm. My bite of the night, not the ham in isolation, in the Hawaiian roll with the tantalizing mustard. It was great. And you know what? It made me realize I've been a little too hard on ham. I've been too hard on ham.
Wow. Oh, this has changed your heart.
And you know what? I've been too hard on Easter. Maybe the thing is that a big hock of ham kind of reminds me of myself, and so I'm just a little bit harder on it.
Oh, you see what
boy.
We project what we see, what we most identify in ourselves and other things and other people.
That makes sense.
And I kind of, you know what? Easter's good, and the Spoonman is rising once again, just like Jesus did on Easter.
Oh boy.
Where is he rising?
He's gonna come out of his house. People, people will see me out of my house and be shocked that I'm still alive. Something along those lines.
Get back in there. We don't want this.
Well, let's get to our final thoughts on Honeybaked Ham. We will each give a brief summation of our thoughts on this chain, a closing argument, if you will, and then give it a rating from 0 to 5 forks. We always start with our guest, Kevin Porter. That is you. So, Kevin, go ahead.
Well, I mean, these are, in these uncertain times, you do want things you can count on. You want things that you can rely on as comfort and as comfort food. And I think as a meat and a protein, that ham might count as that, as a certain food for uncertain times. So despite the frosty experience I had with the sides aside, I think the star of the show and the eponymous ham itself was so good that it did take up my rating from the forks that it was to the forks that it is now, which I think is 4 forks for me.
Wow.
4 forks.
Yeah.
Wow. Very good score. All
I
right,
have nothing
Spoonman, go
else to
ahead.
rate it on. I can't talk about the environment. I can't really talk about the service other than the nice man that did take my credit card without taking my credit card. He just held out the chip reader and we were docking it like 2 ships, so we'd actually didn't have contact to contact. But otherwise, yeah, everyone was nice. West Covina shouts out.
Go ahead, Mitch.
A good score, 4 forks. Before I went here, I said to myself, is this going to be a honey-baked ham or a honey-baked sham? That's what I said. That's what I thought. Yes. That is what I thought to myself.
Scam.
Honey-baked scam. Yes. That is what I thought to myself, Nick.
It's funny. I had a bunch of texts I didn't read from you, and I'm seeing now that that's what you texted me. That is this going to be a honey-baked ham or a honey-baked sham?
And
then you amended it to scam.
Yeah. Or scam even, I said afterwards.
Yeah.
And I was I was texting this while on the highway because it was so important for you to see.
Well, you can now. There's no one on the highway now. You can text all you want.
Do you know what? Opposite experience today, driving to Honeybaked Ham. I feel like there's still thousands of cars on the highway. I feel like
You
there's
still
too many
had
people.
traffic.
There was still just people. There was too many people out. Stay home
Wow.
for fuck's sake. That includes,
Unless you're
maybe
getting
everyone's
ham
getting
to review
hams.
for a
Maybe you're
podcast.
getting hams.
Yeah.
Maybe people were getting hams. And it wasn't just ambulances or something. It was people on the road. Okay, they were people. It wasn't emergency workers.
No.
Stay at home.
is-
Keep the roads clear for essential services like
Yes.
people doing deliveries and certainly
People
ambulances,
picking up
medical
hams.
workers,
Hams.
people picking up hams for podcasts.
And Nick, I gotta say, it's not a honey baked sham.
Wow.
It's a honey baked. Damn, that's good.
Oh, great. What a
Boy.
nice positive experience.
Could do without the cussing, but still not bad.
What about
Damn, you could do all the cussing of damn. Oh yeah, that's good too. Honey baked. Bam, that's good.
Yeah,
it was
that's what Eminem would
liberal.
say. Yeah.
the ham. Much like Jesus on Easter, it's the main attraction. It makes sense. It's the thing that people. It's the star of the show here.
Yes.
You know,
And
pastors always say, and now it's time for the main attraction, ladies and gentlemen, Jesus Christ.
The star of the show. The man you came to see.
They do the ham. They do a great job with the ham. It reminds me of Easter. It reminds me of family. It has its place in this world, and especially now when there's fucking Easter bunny suits sitting in fucking warehouses collecting dust, turning fucking brown, unless they were brown to begin with, or turning white from fucking dust. I don't know, turning the opposite color that they are.
Yes.
And you can't go see and be with family on Easter.
Oh, that's depressing.
It makes
That's
it
true.
makes
That
it makes
is
it,
depressing.
it makes it, a thing like honey baked ham, it makes you appreciate it more, but not enough to put it in the Golden Play Club. 3.75 forks.
Wow. Still a very good score.
Yeah.
A good score. I mean, it's good. It does what it is what it's supposed to be. It's such a strange place that I would be interested in trying it as a sandwich spot, which is I guess is how it works outside of picking up Easter dinner or whatever. But I think that if you went in there and you got there's a ham and cheese on a croissant and they use some of this ham, it'd probably be pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic if I had to guess.
It's a quality ham, and I think to roll into my thoughts, it's in the name, honey baked ham, and so it better deliver on that, because that's the exercise of this podcast. The mission is to decide if these places accomplish what they are trying to do. Very much the case with honey baked ham. They're trying to give you good ham. They give you good ham. It's a quality ham. And I think of the specific situation of, if we were still doing those family gatherings and my aunt had organized it, hey, we're all going to do a Zoom thing on Easter, and what I got was this honey-baked ham and these sides, and this was going to be my approximation, again, to use that word again, of what my Easter dinner experience normally was like, I'd feel content. And I was eating this, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of like what I would want to get in this sort of faux Easter celebration that I'm trying to do. And I think if that aside, if I was just going to get some ham to eat, just to chew on, just to chomp on some ham, if that was my protein of choice, this is a great ham. This is a great to-go ham that's worth the money. So for that reason, I'm with Kevin. I'm at Four Forks. This is a Four-Fork chain.
Wow.
It's
I think
right.
what
It's right
Wiger's
up
trying
there.
to say is wham, bam, thank you, ham.
That is what I was trying to say in so many words. Hey, that was our review of Honeybaked Ham. It's time for a segment. Trapped in his apartment, one man is driven mad by snacks. It's the Spoonman Snacker Whack.
That's right, Nick. I got the snack. It's just for me today.
This is Mitch pitched this segment. He said, "I'm going to eat a snack, and then you and Kevin can ask questions about it."
But he pitched this like 6 months ago, right? And
So
he
Mitch, he stood
finally
up
gets to
because
do it.
he finally gets to do it. He stood up because the snack was not at the ready, so he was going to go get it right
I'm
now.
away from the mic. Okay. I got three options. Hold on, I gotta grab the last option.
So Mitch was texting me and Susser. He was like, "This is my idea. We'll do Spoonman Snacker Whack, and I'll just have these snacks. I got these 3 snacks that I can have." And Susser was like, "This is just you wanting to eat candy." and Mitch was like, "So what?"
This is Mitch's way of quarantine eating the Doughboys cabinet.
No,
He's a pretty transparent ploy to eat some candy.
Sadly, I went and got new candies.
You got new candy for this.
We got
Okay.
we got Eminem. We got Eminem fudge brownie flavored M&Ms.
Wow, that
Fudge
sounds good.
Fudge brownie flavored M&Ms.
There's a
We got
purple wrapper on this.
Skittle dips, which look
dope.
like some jizzy Skittles.
I've seen those before. They are like yogurt dipped Skittles.
DJ Jizzy Skittles.
And then we got Snickers salty and sweet.
Wow, that sounds decadent.
Can I pick nits for a second?
Please do.
Yes.
So I think of those not so much as snacks, but I think of those as little treats. When I think of a snack, I think of something like a little more savory or like chips or nuts or something like that. Even though technically, yes, it is a snack, but I think of it as a little treat more.
So we kind of
Kevin,
use Snacker Whack as a catch-all of both
Kevin, you,
savory and sweets. But that's a good
This
note.
is a good 5 years running here with this.
Yeah, we really could have used this
Well,
feedback.
what if you do a subgenre?
Year one.
What about a subgenre like treats or throw it on the streets? Something like that. Treats or skeets?
Streets. I
Treat
like
or
streets. Treat or eat. Treat or eat.
Treat or eat? Those both seem positive to me.
I think now, more than any time in Doughboys history, is the time to optimize everything you're doing with the podcast.
We should be making some tweaks.
Treat or skeet?
Yeah, that was one of my pitches. Treat or skeet.
Why not?
Isn't Skeet awfully ribald? Isn't that a pretty dirty thing?
Awfully
Depends on the
ribald.
context.
Can be.
Okay, it can be. All right.
But
Well, we'll go with...
No, here's what it is. It's like treat as in like, I'm going to eat it. It's a nice treat. Or I don't like this. I'm going to throw it up in the air and shoot it. Like skeet.
Like skeet shooting. Okay, that kind of skeet. That I'm
And then I'm
into.
going to go jerk off.
Well,
All right,
Nick,
this is treat or skeet.
which treat or skeet would you want me to eat?
You've got the Snickers salty or sweet. You've got the M&M's fudge brownie, and you've got the Skittles dips. I'm going to defer to our guest, Kevin T. Porter. Kevin, what would you like Spoonman to try?
Ooh, I am curious about the M&M's fudgies.
All right, let's have those M&M's, those fudge M&M's, Mitch.
Yeah.
It's your opportunity to eat these. So let us know what you are seeing here as you open up this bag. What are these?
These come in a purple packaging. Mm-hmm. M&M chocolate
I just realized
candies.
this is a peek into what Mitch's OnlyFans would be.
Yeah.
It's just him slowly eating a snack that I choose.
Which, hey, I will sign up for OnlyFans if it's that. That sounds good. The brown M&M is on the cover. She's got glasses on, and she's holding a thing of brownies,
and then I opened up Eminem, which has the brownie inside of it. I'm
Right.
gonna take one out. These guys
So
are
the-
pretty plump. They're pretty plump M&Ms, as you can see here, Nick.
Oh yeah, that looks like a big boy. That looks like a peanut M&M.
That's
Yeah.
dumb
Yeah.
thick.
I'm gonna take a bite here.
So the brown M&M, from what I'm gathering, because the green M&M is the horny one, the brown M&M is the smart one. She's the brainy one.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
Two
that
of
makes
them are
sense.
gay though, right?
Well, I'm not sure. I know that the yellow one is the kind of slow-witted one, and the red one is kind of the snarky one.
I thought the Twitter account posted something implying that two of them are in a relationship.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh, yeah. I
Maybe
did
that's
not
red
know
and
that.
yellow.
I think it's two of the women though. How's it going, Mitch? What are you noticing?
Oh, it's
So
yeah. Go on, Mitch.
I've kind of halved this one. I bit in. I kind of just bit it in half. It's a very fudgy. There's a very strong fudge taste to it.
Is it soft
okay.
inside?
It is
Great
soft
question,
inside.
Emma.
It's not. It's not. I don't. There's no like actual brownie, which I feel like it could have had like some sort of maybe brownie element.
So it's more of a
feel-
more of a chewy sort of nougaty sort of quality to it. What is the texture?
Yeah, but done just enough that it just almost tricks you into thinking that it almost is kind of brownie like.
Interesting.
It's kind of thick, like the caramel M&Ms, which we did not like.
Did not like them.
It's kind of thick like that, but not as chewy, not nearly as chewy.
The caramel M&M packaging is particularly upsetting because they've established that one of the M&Ms has caramel inside of it, and the packaging is two different M&Ms that are holding a cracked in half caramel M&M with its insides dripping out. So
Oh
they
my
have basically
God.
grabbed and dismembered one of their colleagues so that they can reveal its innards. It's pretty grim.
I think they're definitely like one of the heavier M&Ms as far as like these flavors go. I like a peanut
Right.
butter M&M, and that's also kind of heavy as well. But like just the fudgy chewiness of them is quite a bit.
Yeah.
But the taste, can't lie about the taste. This is damn good, Wags.
Wow.
Hey.
These are tasty. This is I gotta go treat or snack all the way.
Treat
I think
or snack?
it is treat. Yeah, we're going with treat.
All right,
These are not
this
ones
is-
that you would skeet shoot.
This is for sure it's a snack.
I think we've established this, Mitch. This segment now, when you're in isolation having a treat, this is thanks to Kevin. This is now canonically Spoonman's treat or skeet.
So if I don't like it, I go jack it.
No, no. That's not what. We're not that kind of
Throw it in the
skeet.
air.
You throw it in the air and
Please
you
don't
shoot
do
it.
that on the Zoom call, buddy. Please.
I would never, not on the Zoom call, for God's sakes. Yes, very similar to the. They're like, but they're not as chewy, not nearly as chewy, but they still give you like a full taste. You really taste like a fudgy brownie taste. I do wish that they had just like maybe put like a little bit of, however they do it, whatever science,
Yeah.
however they make, the crispy M&Ms have like little Rice Krispies in there. I wish there was like a little thing of brownie in there, but these are good. They're very. I feel like you have to be in a mood to have them, but I think if these were out on a table at a party, you wouldn't be upset. They are very dessert-like.
Wow. Think of that scenario. Out on a table at a party, everyone putting their hands into the same bowl.
A fantasy.
Think of that. Think of that world. No, I'm just saying that it's such a different world than what we live in currently. It's gonna be wild when we have that return to normalcy.
Isn't it weird how every movie and television show you watch now is a period piece because it's people in rooms together talking?
You see a commercial of people like just in a park, like just
Yeah.
hanging out. And it's so
Hugging.
strange.
Yeah, different time.
Hey, that was Spoonman's
this is-
treat or skeet.
These are wild.
Yeah, if you're out on a quarantine grocery run and you see those in the impulse buy section and Spoonman says give them a go, why not? Just like a restaurant via your feedback, let's open up the feedback. Today's email comes from Zach Bowman. Zach writes, I'm currently sheltering in place in Chicago. I started listening to Doughboys about a year ago, and I'm taking this opportunity to work through the back catalog of episodes I missed before that. I just listened to episode 64, Dolympics, Domino's versus Papa John's versus Pizza Hut. At one point, Mitch, Nick, and guest Mookie Blakelock each count a bag of small fries one by one out loud and at the same time. Listening to that was my mental breaking point of sheltering in place. Anyway, my question is, if all restaurants were to close down for a year, but you could label one chain restaurant as essential to keep it open during that time, what's your choice? Thanks for the hours of entertainment. He puts entertainments in quotes, which is a very
Damn.
it's a real
Some
fuck
may
you
say-
on the way out the door, Zach.
Some may say even mean.
I will. This is so. I read this question first, and as screening them. So I knew this going in, and I have an answer locked and loaded. This is a personal choice for me.
Okay.
This is a selfish choice.
Yeah,
but
Del
It's Del Taco.
it's not Del Taco.
Oh.
I mean, because I'm thinking of chain restaurants in general, and I'm thinking of the experience I miss is going out to eat, and I can't do that right now. And a pretty regular thing that me and Natalie would do is go to Islands. Islands, we reviewed it before with our buddy Nick Mundy. It's a burger chain that also has tiki drinks. It's got like this, sort of beachy vibe inside, this kitschy beachy vibe, but also legitimately like good burgers and fries and cocktails. And I love going there, and I wish that was open. So I think if there was a scenario where it's just like, hey, you can have this one restaurant is essential, and it's okay to go out and eat there. For me, it's Islands, fine burgers, and drinks. But that's just me. I'm curious about you guys. Kevin, Mitch, any thoughts on what restaurant you would keep open? What chain restaurant you would keep open as essential if you could?
I mean, you would want something that has a pretty good variety of menu.
Right.
So that could offer a lot of different kinds of things
Yeah.
to different people rather than like a specialty of like In-N-Out, I don't think would be a good essential place because it only does a couple of things extremely well, but it couldn't cater to a lot of different kinds of people. So I almost think you have to do like a volume play here and maybe return to the restaurant that started it all, gang. Maybe do Cheesecake Factory is the
It's
only
a great choice.
Wow.
chain that stays open. They have like a million different items on the menu, and they are protesting their rent right now, which I
do
think
like that.
is interesting, taking a stand against evil landlords.
I do like the Cheesecake Factory rent strike. The Cheesecake Factory is on the side of justice. Why not? I think that's a great answer, Kevin, and a less selfish answer than mine. Mine is very much of like thinking of like, okay, if this is a
very
personal
selfish.
choice. But if you're thinking of it in terms of, for everybody, absolutely, the savory side and not to mention the sweet side.
Oh, gracious.
That-
You'll never
that-
run out of cheesecakes.
Never run out of things to have there.
You got that brown bread, but also if you want, you can get a Skinny-licious Chinese chicken salad if you want
Let me say this, Kevin.
That's
'cause
a great point.
Yeah, and that's a really good point because they do have some, they have some less indulgent fare.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to say, because people always talk about the cheesecakes, and the cheesecakes there are fantastic, but they have there's like a lemon torte. It might be a limoncello torte that they have there. That is a cake-based dessert at Cheesecake Factory. And if you ever don't feel like cheesecake or you just want to try something different, that one is dynamite. It is fucking great. So it's not just cheesecake they do there on the pastry side. Mitch, one chain you have open for a year as essential, what would you pick?
Speaking of landlords, Wiger, I told you this the other day, but my rent hadn't come, obviously because of what was going on. My landlord was so fucking freaked out.
Yeah.
And, was
your
like, "Where's
landlord-
your rent?"
And your landlord
ahead.
is Pearl, right?
Yeah, she came to my door, and
Funny
you know,
or Die, UCB, institutions that'll stand the test of time for decades to come.
Don't need to
It's
be
not
marked
a-
as essential. They'll keep existing.
it's not as funny anymore because she's like 20.
Right.
So
So the act has kind of gotten a little, it's gotten a little tired.
she's like, "Do you have it?" And I'm like, "No, you're gonna flip out." And she's like, "No, just get it to me when you can."
Fair.
No,
Nice
but it-
exchange.
My landlord was like, "Where's your rent?" And I was like, "I don't know," because I do bill pay for my rent. And I was like, "Geez, I thought people were kind of being laid back about this."
Not
'Cause
landlords.
And I was like, because this was like April 3rd or maybe April 4th. And I was like, have other, and they were like, no, none of like the bill pay ones have come yet. And I was like, maybe there's just an issue with the mail. And then it came that day. But anyways, fucking landlords. I think that my first answer is for the world, and it's tough to say because it's a place that's maybe not handling this crisis not well, and it's McDonald's. It has breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's got the good coffee. It's got breakfast sandwiches, It's a place that people go every day. They're
You can eat
accessible.
there if
They're
you're
open
broke.
24 hours. You can eat
Yeah.
there if you're broke. There's a lot of things. The drive-through is easy to get to, and you can get in and out of there. That's my choice. But for me, if I'm going to go personal, Nick, for me too, I'd probably change it over to Wendy's just because
Wow.
this is what I think about Wendy's. First of all, I love the spicy chicken sandwich, of course. But the options as far as Kevin, as what you were saying with like Cheesecake Factory, you have like salads and stuff. I think that the options of healthier things are just better at Wendy's than they are at McDonald's. If you want to stay sane. A baked
Well, for
potato
sure.
you could do. A chili you could do. Those are like okay. If you do a salad there, they're much, much better than McDonald's salads, I think. So I think my answer is Wendy's. And now they got breakfast. They got breakfast now. They're not open 24 hours. They're pretty accessible. There's a lot of them. I know a lot of people are torn because I know that Wendy's aren't that great in other areas of the country, as we found out. But
I've heard
for
that
my money,
that-
it's Wendy's.
specifically, and our buddy Charles Ingram, who's from Tennessee, has remarked upon this, and we've heard this from listeners as well, that in the South, for whatever reason, a lot of the Wendy's franchises are not very well run. And so I think that in the American South, Wendy's has a reputation of being more like how Burger King, at least in the past, was viewed in other parts of the country as like, oh, this is kind of the trashier of the big chains, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
That's so
When
crazy.
I
It
was
was always
growing
the
up
nice
in
one out
Texas, that wasn't the case. We
Okay.
loved Wendy's a lot, but Texas is kind of fake South, so
Right.
And it was 15 years ago or whatever, so maybe it's a different experience. But I have since the quarantine found myself craving Wendy's. A friend of mine did just Postmates a Frosty to her place.
Oh, man.
So
Yeah.
what do you think is going to be the first restaurant you guys go to when this is all over?
Great question.
Ooh,
I think
like the
it'll
first
probably
sit-down restaurant?
Yeah, I think it'll probably be like a local place. I think it'll probably
Yeah.
be a local spot we like a local
Yeah.
Indian or Thai restaurant or something. But I could see, as far as chains go, it might be Islands. It might be a Hillstone because they could have like a nice fancy blowout dinner, which that would be nice if
Have you not gotten any takeout yet, Nick?
We've gotten some takeout, but we've been, we haven't gotten any. We haven't gotten like, we're gonna go crazy and get like a fancy fine dining dinner to go. We haven't done that whole experience yet, which I'm sure is if your financial situation permits it, I'm sure is a nice thing to do if you can.
Yeah.
On my cheat day, which is Sunday, and shut
Mm-hmm.
up, everyone. Shut up to everyone who says like, no, not you guys. Everyone who's gonna comment like, you'll never not be fat. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Anyway,
You think that's their comment?
they always say stuff of like, Mitch has a cheat. You shouldn't. Whatever. I just look. I don't want
like.
to.
I thought you were gonna give them something like a little like marginally more clever, like every day is a cheat day. Is that? I thought that you were going like that direction.
No, I'm not trying to be clever. I'm telling them to shut the fuck up. I'm sick of it. Sick of people fucking commenting on how I fucking live my life. Shut up. You too, Wiger. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you were kind of ahead of the game as far as postmating every item of food you could possibly Postmates. Now who looks like the fool? Everyone else.
I actually have not been Postmating as much. I did shopping, like I said. I don't have any food right now, so I will be Postmating probably some lunches this week. Even though, you know what? I've been given, if I have Postmated stuff which I have, especially on my Sundays, my cheat days, I try to give a good tip to the drivers. I try to do double what I usually do. Anyways, not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just saying, help out the people who are in need of that, and people. I think a lot of people who are doing that stuff are in need of cash right now. Anyways, I got Wendy's and I got a spicy chicken sandwich, and there was no tomato on it, Nick. I told you.
Oh boy.
This.
Ooh.
And it was a real bummer to me.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Can't go back there and say like, hey, it's not the time. It's not the time to complain about no tomato on your sandwich. And I also forgot that I have this free Frosty tag on my keys. I didn't get a Frosty.
You've got that on your keychain?
What is it?
I got it on
Just
my
free
keychain.
Frosties forever?
It's free Frosties for the year.
Wow.
How'd you get
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. How did you get that?
We got that on the
Someone
road.
gave it to someone gave it to us from Doughboys. Yeah, I took it. I told you I was going to take it.
Wow, what a
And
nice
I gave the other one to Emma or you song. I forget who.
No,
Emma,
there
do
was
you have
there
it?
was supposed to be 2 because it came with the 2 T-shirts, but the girl who gave us the T-shirts kept one and gave us one.
Oh, and then Mitch immediately took it for himself. Okay, got it.
No,
Yeah,
Mitch, we said
that
we were going to
tracks.
share it. You got it for 6 months, and then I got it for 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely hand it off for the 6-month mark.
Out of an abundance of caution, Mitch has claimed full custody.
They've
of
already
the
taken it
Frosted
away from
keychain.
him. They were like, no more.
I haven't used it once yet. Fool. I'm a fool.
You'll get to use it in time, I'm sure. And hey, if you have a question or comment about the world of chain restaurants, you can email us at doughboyspodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 830-GO-DOUGH. That's 830-463-6844. To get the Doughboys Double, our weekly bonus episode, join the Golden or Platinum Play Club at patreon.com/doughboys. And hey, if you're not able to, get on the Patreon right now, or if you've had to cancel the Patreon for your financial situation, we have been putting some free Patreon episodes up every Monday. So if you go to our Twitter, our pinned tweet is all the free Patreon episodes that we have released so far. You can just find them on the Patreon website, but they are linked there on our pinned tweet. And then the replies to that tweet, that whole thread has all the ones we release each week. That's continually updated, so you can find that there. Kevin T. Porter.
But
Yes.
also, I just want to say, read the fine print, because just like the government, after all this passes, you might be charged for those patrons you listen to. Right, Nick?
Yeah, it's technically a tax credit. So basically, it's means tested, where if you make below a certain threshold and above another certain threshold, you will get that as a tax rebate for your next year's taxes. But you might owe money.
It's a
Yeah, you might owe money. You'll get a bill from Doughboys.
Kevin Porter, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I love the show. Love you guys. It's great to be back, and I hope to see you before the eve of Trump's third-term re-election in 2024.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's a grim, probable future. We love you too, Kevin. Thank you so much for joining us. What would you like to plug at this time?
You can listen to Good Christian Fine or the Inside Voices podcast, both on the HeadGum Network as well.
Check that out. And hey, that'll do it for this episode of...
Kevin, have a good Easter and stay safe.
I will. I'm not going to church.
Good.
Don't
you watched
heed
on
Hosier's
TV.
advice.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Hosier.
Don't take me to church. Take me home. That other song.
Hey, that'll do it for this episode of Doughboys. Until next time, for the Spoonman, Mike Mitchell, I'm Nick Wiger. Happy eating.
See ya.
On the next Doughboys Double, Podcast The Ride's Jason Sheridan pays a visit to discuss staycationing for a theme park addict and for our frozen foods draft. Who will win the day? Reheatable savory dishes or frozen sweet treats? Pizza or popsicles? Pot pies or otter pops? Find out next week. Get the Doughboys Double every Tuesday only at patreon.com/doughboys. That's patreon.com/doughboys. Sources for this week's intro are in the episode description.
That was a HeadGum podcast.